Welcome back to our webisode of our exercise room remodel, or redecoration I should say. We were looking around for some valances to use for the window treatment and couldn't find anything to go with our kind of old world Santa Fe style. So what I did is I decided to go to a hardware store and pick out some fencing material and cut it to the lengths that I needed. Now the fencing material usually comes in 5 or 6 foot lengths. This is they consider this a 1x4, and it's actually a little bit under that measurement. But what I did is, as you can see here, this was a 6-foot piece. I trimmed it all off down to 52 inches. Now I wanted it 52 inches because our window's 44, so I wanted to leave at least 4 inches on each side to be able to hang my drapery panels from. Then what I did is, after trimming all these back, I cut another piece of our excess wood to save on cost, and we attached it to the side, nailed it to the top, and then did another board up here the same way. For a little bit of a decoration, I went and got a 1x6, and I trimmed that down, leaving the clipped corner from the fence, and then also clipped it on the opposite side just to kind of give it some dimension to it. Now what I did is, you can go to your hardware store, and a lot of the hardware stores will have scrap materials, and just ask and see if they have any leftover wood or discontinued pieces that they want to get rid of, and sometimes you can pick these up very inexpensively. We got these for 50 cents a piece, and they're usually about $2 a piece. So that really helped save a lot. So for under $50 we're able to do our own custom window treatment. So what you'll need to do something like this are some finishing nails about 1 inch. You'll also need some screws that will be anywhere from a 1/2 inch to 1 inch depending on the thickness of your wood. Sandpaper here. You need a saw, and then you'll need a drill, and then also need get a chain. You can use a chain. I just use some this is picture wire, and I put some bolts on it, and then I distress this. So what I wanted to do is, you can just kind of do this around the perimeter and the whole piece if you want, and then that way it'll give it more of a dented, old, distressed effect to it. Then what I did is I drilled 4 holes on each side to give it a little bit more character, and I got these bolts, and I'm in the process of spray painting them black, and then these are going to go in on each corner here just to kind of give it a little bit more character to it, and then just going to screw it in on the back side. You'll also need a drill bit for that to be able to go through your lumber as well, and of course a hammer. After you're finished with distressing your material, what you want to do is get a coarse sandpaper, lightly sand the corners everywhere around, go down to, and that way you can be able to run your hands over it without getting any type of splinters. The last thing you want to do is, when you want to go to stain your material, take some scrap pieces and then put on some samples. Now this one was obviously a little bit too dark, this one was a little too red, so I got one that has a little bit more of a reddish brown tone, because that's kind of what we're going for. And this is the Minwax cherry that we're putting on here. So what you want to do is, after you're finished with your whole piece, is then just get your stain and then lightly coat the top of it. Now some of the woods that you may get may suck in the stain a little bit more, so what you might want to do is, just if it's not going to be sucking in as much, you can just wipe it off, and it gives it a nice clean look like that. After you're done with that, then what you can do is, you can leave it raw if you want, or you can get like a spray varnish and put a spray varnish on it. So anyway, so that's our piece, and I'll get this finished up, and then we'll go in and we'll hang it. So we'll see you in the next episode.